The average person lives for around 79 years, spends a third of it sleeping and a quarter of it at work. What else do we spend our time on? Quite often I'll think about what a friend asked me over dinner once. What's the one thing you can't get more of in life? The answer is time, a finite resource, the length of which is unknown. Up until that moment, I can't say that I was aware of how I was spending my life, and would just wander through it without too much thought. It had me wondering, and still to this day I think to myself, why waste time doing things you don't get fulfillment from, and things that will hinder you from enjoying life in the long run? I'd like to go through a few thoughts I've had, and hopefully you'll be able to use them to improve how you spend your time. Sleep. We spend a third of our lives asleep, which is honestly something you don't want to cut down on. Getting the right amount of sleep boosts mental and physical well-being, including immunity, weight regulation, and even fertility. So sleep definitely isn't something you want to cut down on.
It took Mother Nature 3.6 million years to put this thing called an 8-hour sleep necessity in place. And we've come along, and within the space of 100 years, we've lopped off almost 20% of that, if you look at the data.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Whew. And so many people take pride in that, too. I don't need 8 hours sleep. I got 3. I'm good. Ready to go, kick ass, and dominate the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the sort of like sleep machismo sort of attitude.
There is a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
Not me, baby. I like sleep.
Well, I mean, and you'd be glad to know that then, men who sleep 5 to 6 hours a night will have a level of testosterone which is that of someone 10 years their senior. So a lack of sleep will age you by a decade in terms of that critical aspect of wellness, virility, muscle strength,
10
sexual
years.
performance.
That's incredible.
Work. We spend a quarter of our lives at work, trading 5 days at work for 2 days off. But work is another thing you can't really avoid. We need to pay bills, put food on the table. But that shouldn't be the only reason we go to work, trading our time for money. How you think about work is a big thing, and having the right mindset is very important. How often do you dread waking up on a Monday morning, finding the weekend is over, and having to go back to work? Are you the person always saying, "Happy Friday," or "Thank God it's Friday" to your friends and colleagues? What are you really celebrating? Do you dislike work that much? Having the right mindset is understanding that work is just a part of your life. You spend a quarter of your life at work. Would you want to spend that quarter of your life feeling miserable and unsatisfied? If you have this feeling that you don't like your job, then this mindset change has to happen. And if you're around toxic people, then maybe a job change is in order. For me, personally, I've had jobs I didn't enjoy, but they paid well. And I've had jobs that paid not great, but the environment was really good. And if I had to choose between them, I'd pick a better environment over a big paycheck anytime. Another thing I'm working towards is reducing the amount of time I have to spend at work, finding ways to become more financially independent, which in turn will give me more time to do what I want and less time worrying about the next paycheck. Check out some videos in my finance playlist if you want to learn more. Education. We spend 585 days of our lives in school up to age 18. When you think about it, that's not much time at all. No wonder we enjoy being a kid more than we enjoy being adults, having so much more free time to spend doing what you want. Seeing that school education is such a small part of our lives, and we have to learn so much during this brief time. It would be wise to help our children get the best education they can, and also make the most out of the free time they have in their youth. Screen time. We spend around 4 hours a day, or 14% of our lives, looking at a screen, such as a smartphone or a TV, in our free time. Now this isn't including time spent at work or at school. I would say that this number has increased since the recent lockdowns, with more hours dedicated to YouTube and Netflix. Excessive screen time can have negative effects, especially when engaging in online disagreements or using social media as a replacement to seeing your friends in person. If you'd like to learn more, I go more in depth on this topic in my other videos. I personally think about this dilemma quite often, and it can feel like my time is wasted so easily. For example, I'll spend hours playing Call of Duty when I could have done something I wanted to do, such as going to the gym, or even reading that book I've had on my Kindle for the past 2 months. I've slowly started to set myself goals and reward myself when I achieve them, building new habits to get the most fulfillment and enjoyment out of life. Here are a few things you can try if you feel like you're wasting time. Setting usage timers on any apps you feel like you're using too much. Making more time to go out and see your friends and family. And on some occasions, do nothing at all. Turn off your phone, be bored, and soon you'll start to think of productive things you can do, especially when there are no distractions. So let me know in the comments below any tips you'd like to share to help people get more out of life. I would say that in the end, it's not as important to be as productive as possible. It's about getting the most fulfillment out of the things you're doing and cutting back on the things that aren't fulfilling. Try spending as much time getting the most out of life, enjoying every moment and being as mindful as possible. And as William Shakespeare once said, life is too short, so live your life to the fullest. Every second of your life, just treasure it. So I hope this video has helped you think about what you put your time into. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you'd like to hear more, please subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Peace.